I can't believe the magnitude of the tasks that Trump will have to perform in the first 5 or 6 months in office. They are simply unbelievable. The first one, of course, is Obamacare. And because the Congress will pass, or has passed, and he will sign on taking office, a repealer of Obamacare, he's got to replace it within 90 or 120 days, which means he has 3 or 4 months to design a system that would embrace 1/6 of the total American economy, the amount spent on health care, and would vitally affect the lives of every single American. And he's got to do it by passing it in the Senate with 50 votes. If it's 50 to 50, Pence will break the tie in his favor. And it's not a filibuster bill because it's done as a budget item. But he can only afford to lose 2 votes in the Senate. McCain hates him, and Lindsey Graham didn't even vote for him. He voted for Evan McMillan, the conservative independent candidate. And you have 7 other U.S. senators, Republicans, who refused to endorse Trump even after he won the Republican nomination. So he's got to corral those 9 senators. And that's going to be a very, very difficult task, particularly on health care legislation. They did get the votes of all of them on repealing Obamacare, but that's an easier vote to cast. After that, or at the same time, he's got to steer his confirmations through. I think he'll get them all except maybe Pellier, the labor secretary, because of a domestic violence episode. But I think he'll get those appointments confirmed. And then he's got to appoint a Supreme Court judge. He can't let the court sit there with 8 justices. They've had several 4-4 decisions, which mean there basically is no Supreme Court. The circuit court in each circuit has the control, and there are potential for 8 or 9 different laws, depending on what circuit you're in. They can't let that continue. And that appointment is going to be a very difficult one. If he doesn't reform the filibuster law and exempt Supreme Court nominees from filibusters, he's going to have to attract 8 Democrats to support his appointment, at the same time that he holds the entire right wing of the party in line that he's named a conservative enough judge. And then he's got to appoint a judge to the Supreme Court. He can't let the current 8-man court continue. There have already been several 4-4 deadlocks on important cases. And a 4-4 deadlock means there is no Supreme Court decision. And the circuit court decision stands. And there are many different circuit courts, I believe 8 or 9. And they could be in conflict with each other. And you could have different laws, different federal laws in different parts of the country. Can't continue. But in nominating a Supreme Court judge, he's got to get 60 votes to confirm him, which means he's got to have 8 Democrats who find him conservative, find him liberal enough, while holding the right wing of the Republican Party in line, finding him conservative enough. The solution to that probably is to eliminate the filibuster for Supreme Court nominations, something I've been urging and I think he's going to have to do. But even so, keeping 52 votes in line is going to be a daunting task, especially since there are some pro-choice Republicans who would have to vote on that appointment. And then when he finishes that, he's got to go into the most complicated field in American politics, tax reform. And he's going to try to lower the corporate tax, lower individual taxes, decrease tax deductions, including the mortgage interest tax. He'll leave it intact, but say that only 90% of it can be deducted or something like that. And then repatriating foreign capital. And while all of this is happening, he's got North Korea and China bent on doing anything they can to destabilize his regime and cause a crisis. And his relations with Russia will be under a microscope because of the intel findings that Russia tried to influence the election in his favor. And on top of all of that, the administration is literally booby-trapped by Obama. Every agency has a federal rule or regulation or executive order governing every aspect of the policy. And when he tries to do Arctic drilling, when he tries to expand offshore drilling in other areas, when he tries to reverse the overtime rule at the Department of Labor or to reverse the deregulation of the internet, or to reverse the EPA regulations, the job-killing regulations on power plants. All of that, they're booby-trapped. He's going to have, each time he tries to do it, a new litigation, probably a new injunction, and he'll have to navigate his way through that minefield. Oh my God. Well, he asked for it, but he has his work cut out for him. Now, tomorrow is the blessed day when Obama gives up power, and I'm going to be back with a special lunch alert after the inauguration.